Welcome to Gambia 24 News, where we bring you up to date on matters national headlines within the past 24 hours in the smiling coast of Africa. I am your presenter, Amadou Kante. It is already 19:30 GMT in our studios in Banjul. Now we go straight with the headlines. The International Court of Justice has ordered Myanmar to prevent crimes of genocide against the Rohingya a month after the case was brought to The Hague by the Republic of the Gambia. Religious leaders in the Gambia recall ordeal in the hands of exiled former president on different encounters. A National Assembly Select Committee on Women and Related Affairs puts heads over women discrimination matters. These and more stories coming ahead. You are watching iAfrica TV, and many thanks for joining us. A member of the Hydra clan blamed the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council for causing the arrest detention of late Khalif General of Dar es Salaam Sangajor, Muhyiddin Hydra, in 2014. The Khalif's eldest son, Abbas Muhyiddin Hydra, made the revelation on Thursday during his testimony before the TRC. He told the commissioners that his late father was arrested along with the village Alcalo and subsequently charged. Details of that in this report.
Son of the late Khalifa General of Dar es Salaam Sangajor in the West Coast region, has accused President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Mohamed Lamin Toure, as one of the architects of the arrest, detention and charges of the late scholars in 2014. Testifying before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission (TRRC), Abbas Muhyiddin Hydra said the incrimination of his father, Muhyiddin Hydra, by former President Yahya Jammeh was a suggestion from the leadership of Sheikh Toure. The Hydra clan faced crossfire with the administration of the exiled former president for defying a State House order for the entire country to observe the Islamic annual Eid prayers, according to the announcement by the country's Islamic governing body.
I heard from the President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Mohamed Lamin Toure. He told Yahya Jammeh that they've tried all means so that the whole country will pray on the same day, but it was impossible. But if they pray, that's the Supreme Islamic Council, and if the government goes along and pray with the Supreme Islamic Council, if the Imam Ratib of Banjul also prays, there should be no other congregation for Eid prayers again in the country.
He testified that the threat in which Jammeh viewed to arrest leaders of any community that failed to comply with the announcement from the Supreme Islamic Council came the very day that the leaders of the council pay a courtesy on the president at State House.
That's the time we heard that Yahya Jammeh said, after the pronouncement of the President of the Supreme Islamic Council, then Yahya Jammeh said, nobody will conduct Eid prayers here tomorrow. He said that this country belongs to him. Anybody who conducts Eid prayers tomorrow, what he will do to you, you will see. I saw this on GRTS TV. Yahya was speaking up to the point of hitting the table.
The late Khalifa General was charged with conspiracy and disobedience to the lawful order in 2014, alongside the village head of Dar es Salaam, Buye Toure, after they failed to lead their community in observance of the fast on the day prescribed by the council. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Aissatou Tamba.
From that report on the ongoing proceedings of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, we move on to talk about women empowerment matters. because the 2019 Draft Women Amendment Bill was on Wednesday discussed by National Assembly Select Committee and stakeholders at the Assembly building in Banjul. The bill seeks to repeal all discriminatory legislative laws against women and children. Details of that in this report.
The National Assembly Select Committee on Health, Women, Disaster, Humanitarian Relief and Refugees on Wednesday sat over the 2019 Draft Women Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to review, amend and repeal all legislative provisions found to be discriminatory women and girls in the Gambia in furtherance of the country's international obligations and in line with the Constitution. Lamin Jawara, Permanent Secretary of the Personnel Management Office, said there is no systematic gender-based discriminatory in recruitment, promotion and training in the Gambia.
In fact, most of the sectors in the civil service have surpassed the percentage recommended in your proposal. For example, we have found that in the teaching cadre, about 34% are female, while the figure for the nursing cadre stands at about 64% female, and for the accounting cadre it's about 46%. Similarly, the figure for immigration service, Department of Immigration, currently stands at about 39% female.
National Assembly member for Talinding, Fatmata Jawara, argued that women are always ready to take responsibility and participate in national development. It is a fact that their male counterparts receive more priority.
When they open an application, women will not meet the criteria. For instance, if the discrimination starts from the family, like the family is blessed with a boy and a girl child, many families prefer to take the boy to school. Sometimes they will think that women are caregiver. They will just go up to grade 12 or even grade 9. At the end, they are dropped out. The woman may feel to be in an office, but she cannot. So I think in the institutions like colleges, universities, and some institutions need to do more. They need to look for certain criteria. Like if they advertise a position and say that a man should score 100, they should limit the percentage of a woman to 75 if we want to support them.
Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, Lala Jainte, noted that the principles of jurisprudence strongly promote the minimum age of 18 for marriage. She pointed out that all related exemptions should be eliminated so as to end gender discriminations in nationality laws.
Honorable members, due to the Gambia's plural legal system, matters of marriage, divorce, and inheritance are usually decided in accordance with the Sharia or customary law for majority of the population of whom it applies. Sharia and customary law courts decides about 90% of such related cases in the Gambia. This also means that over 90% of women who are Muslim are subject to customary law. They are not protected from discrimination in matters such as in such nature unless recourse is sought through the common law courts. Even where women seek recourse through the common law courts, the relevant discrimination provision of the Sharia and customary law would still be applied as constitutionally guaranteed source of law under Section 7 of the Constitution.
She recommended that for the harmonization of national legislation so that the application of Sharia and customary law should be subject to protection of women from all forms of discriminations. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante.
Deputies and stakeholders discuss on matters of women and girls empowerment. From that report, we head to The Hague, where the International Court of Justice has ruled in favor of the Gambia regarding the case on the application of Convention to Prevent and Punish Crimes of Genocide. The West African state took up the case against Myanmar in December 2019 to protect the Rohingya people. More details of that in this report.
The International Court of Justice on Thursday delivered verdict in response to Gambia's request for the indication of provisional measures on the application of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide against the Rohingya Muslims. The West African state had asked the world's highest court for provisional measures to to require Myanmar to immediately take all steps to prevent genocidal acts, including to stop and prevent further genocidal acts, to ensure that security forces do not commit or incite genocidal acts, and to preserve all evidence related to the military's crimes. The court ruled that the Gambia has the prima facie to submit its dispute with Myanmar before the court on the basis of alleged violations of obligations under the Genocide Convention. This weakens Myanmar's admissibility challenge against the Gambia on the basis of Article 8 of the Genocide Convention. The application, according to the ruling, was instituted in Gambia's own name on its own rights under the convention. The fact that the Gambia sought and obtained the support of other states or international organizations in the case does not pre-exclude the existence between the parties of dispute relating to the Genocide Convention. In the court's view, the Rohingya in Myanmar appeared to constitute a protected group within the meaning of Article 2 of the Genocide Convention, and that the measures Myanmar took to protect the Rakhine state was not sufficient.
The court takes note of the statement of Myanmar during the oral proceedings that it is currently engaged in repatriation initiatives to facilitate the return of Rohingya refugees present in Bangladesh, and that it intends to promote ethnic reconciliation, peace and stability in Rakhine state, and to make its military accountable for violations of international humanitarian and human rights law. However, in view of the court, these steps do not appear sufficient in themselves.
By this ruling, Myanmar is obliged to present before the court a report in order to show all measures it will take towards the protection of the Rohingya Muslims within 4 months and after every 6 months thereafter.
The Republic of the Union of Myanmar shall take effective measures to prevent the destruction and ensure the preservation of evidence related to allegations of acts within the scope of Article 2 of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. 4. Unanimously, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar shall submit a report to the court on all measures taken to give effect to this order within 4 months, as from the date of this order, and thereafter every 6 months, until a final decision on the case is rendered by the court.
Public hearing on this case, which began on the 71st anniversary of the United Nations Genocide Convention, was concluded on the 12th of December 2019, giving the court a period of over 1 month for deliberation. Gambia's Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Batambedu said that the aim is to get Myanmar to account for its action against its own people, the Rohingya. For iAfrica News, I am Julden Jai.
And from that report there by Julden Jai from the International Court of Justice, where earlier on today it had ruled on the favor of Gambia against Myanmar. Well, we'll now take a break and come back shortly with the remainder of the stories. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
na broda min ba Europe Mr. Conte nka bo wala kol kan sai na so ko na mano banta jabo banta tulo ban sai ka bo wala kol kan anda ka ba office ko na ba dama bulo mutarin ba ka ta fintila no ko mbatu ngane ta ya kuriyen ma ko do banta nga ta mano sani tulo ni jam mun da be te la broda man balwo service kalam mun service balwo service ni da foronte mo kalam mun da a fela broda ko abitala internet ol aya ba site la woldo balwo.com na wo sajje a apu nga ba download la telephone ol na be sandiro to ni wal na be sidin ala office ko ndama manjar pour ay ta bank ko kodoki abe sidin office ko na daminto ito message so yo telephone ko no e biti ko be Gambia dawda biti ko babelo ko ta tano dawda yeta fenko tawo woda ma yala bari wo service na ta mo da han na ta nyole be kan fi janna bro dan ka ko ta nyole ko ayo ko ti da han
balwo service dinkirala jamfo wo manken na kolya ko balwo service al demano kaje ko ale do mor feŋol sang alla dimbaya moli ana lakkanun tewol wato bela ani wat sudum fanan kono balwo service la dinkiralu ani la do kunyolu ibe banko karo beto kabirin katon fo koyna nalla fa ko ku koton so balwo service la kolto ali commandi telephone la no la melbuko 9400213 7694319 wala 3192870 wala hankabi alta internet to alila kolu jibe www.baluwo.com.
Welcome back. You are watching the Gambia 24 News on Africa TV, and now to the rest of the stories. Banjul Breweries Limited Wednesday welcomes its new managing director as the former bids farewell. Staffs of the beverage company held reception for the two officials at its headquarters in Banjul. Binta Baji has more details in that report.
Staff of Banjul Breweries Limited has bid farewell to their outgoing managing director, Eric Gilson, and welcomed Emmanuel Midad as the new boss. A farewell and welcoming reception was organized for the two officials at the bottler's main office in Kanifing. Speaking at the gathering, Mr. Midad assured the staff that his door will always be open to them for positive and corporate opinions. He expressed gratitude to the former managing director for his achievements since 2014.
Most of you guys were here 5 years ago when he came, and everybody can see how was the company 5 years ago and where we are today. And that's all. Everybody knows the huge contribution Eric has done for the company, and as a new MD and on behalf of the whole staff, all partners, I want to thank him for that.
Thank you. Mr. Midad assured staff that he will facilitate teamwork to ensure the growth of the company. Alaji Sise, president of the union, said Mr. Gilson never humiliated them anytime they presented their problems to him, and he fulfills every promise he makes to the staff. Fatou Sinyan Megan, Secretary General of the company, gave a rundown of Mr. Gilson's achievements, said staff and wholesalers all mutually benefited from his leadership.
During his tenure in office, the company, the staff, as well as our esteemed wholesalers and distributors all benefited a lot from the leadership skills of Mr. Gilson. During his tenure, the company over the years evolved, and its turnover increased from 323 million in 2014 to 436 million in 2018. Net profit also increased significantly from a loss of 43 million in year 2014 to a record net profit of $83 million in 2018.
Mrs. Megan said they have also witnessed a lot of investments in the form of capital projects, both in the factory and other areas of the brewery. She also praised Mr. Gilson's leadership, saying that during his tenure, he approved the promotion of 32 staffs to various higher positions and appointed 19 casual workers as permanent staffs. For iAfrica News, I am Binta Baji.
From the report there by Binta Baji, we will of course return back to the TRRC because Abbas Muhyiddin Hydra, son of the late Khalif General of the Dar es Salaam and Sangajor, on Thursday told the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission that former President Yahya Jammeh has solicited support from his father to be a king. He said Jammeh sent 8 chiefs, including the late Paramount Chief, to ask the Khalif General to pray for him, but the Khalif replied negative, which angered Jammeh. Details of that in this report.
Former President Yahya Jammeh's taste for power has been brought to the spotlight in the testimony of one Abbas Muhyiddin Hydra before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission on Thursday. Son of the late spiritual leader of Dar es Salaam Sangajor village of West Coast region, said his father once narrated a moment when he received 8 district chiefs who said the exiled former president had sent them to express his desire to become a king of the Gambia. He narrated that his father responded to the delegation that included late Paramount Chief Demba Sanyang that it was better to pray for the betterment of the country than the creation of a kingdom.
Well,
that gave me the suspicion that angered him against my father, because he is somebody, when he asks you to do something and you refuse, he will make you as an enemy.
And that is what made you reach that conclusion that perhaps this was a ploy by Jammeh just to get to your father.
Amunta wole nyim lanno bule sondo mo kono ko nyim kule mi alon ko dolingola e mella e fama e pour ka muta
katuna dalilo mintu Gambia mu kilinati ni ko banko kala doli e sali ko dol kana sali woto banko kilunka mamre doga ko kala ke jawmati do ya ke ku kendoti latin Allah taw.
The Caliph General Muhyiddin Hydra was arrested and charged with conspiracy and disobedience to unlawful order in 2014 on the Muslims' Day of Tobaski. It could be recalled that the former administration under Yahya Jammeh would not waste any time to suppress scholars who differ in opinion with the country's Supreme Islamic Council. Jammeh had personally warned that no Gambian was allowed to observe the Muslims' festive moments on dates different from the prescribed calendar by the Council. Binta Sise for iAfrican News.
That report there from the ongoing proceedings of the TRC. Interesting one to end this news bulletin. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you on today's Gambia 24 News Bulletin. But for more on these stories and others, you can log on our website on africa.tv. Once again, I am Amadou Kanti, and thank you very much for the pleasure of your company. Bye for now.